I'm used to film festivals being about showing films all the time, and it seems like the Limerick Film Festival is much more about exploring filmmaking.
And that's what this festival is all about. It's introducing crafts, getting craftsmen in, experts in their field, and giving students as well as other professionals, I suppose, a new insight into that industry and into that craft.
Well, what we have around us here is an exhibition of fourth-year work. You've got music technology fourth years, you've got audio and video production fourth years, and they're showcasing projects that they've been working on throughout the year.
This is their chance to show off their skills and what they've been learning by inventing, again, inventing different pieces like sensors and video, showing off their little video pieces that they've done throughout the year. I mean, anybody walking in around behind me is getting to see what students do. And again, if you're in third level college and you're going through 4 years, you shouldn't just be handing stuff up to a lecturer. You should be able to show it off and even if people don't like it, that's important, because you need to know, well, right, what has worked, what doesn't work, and you learn from that. And if you can fix all those mistakes, and they're not even mistakes, they're just trials. If you can fix all those before you leave your college year in the kind of a setting like this in the film festival, then you're laughing when you go into the industry, because you've already know what not to do.
Scott Smith. He was very interesting to have some insight on a kind of an industry level of that side of editing, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the screening as well.
What a colorist does is when a project is edited, usually the editing is done on lower resolution files, because usually the camera files are very, very large. Where I come in is, after the primary edit, I am what's called a digital intermediate technician or an online editor, as well as a colorist. I then have to conform all of the original camera files and recreate the edit, and then individually color grade each shot.
I straddle both sides of graphic novels and feature films. One naturally led to the other. As you know, comic books tend to have a cinematic element to them.
My students are the audio and video production students. What they've done throughout the years, they've produced a short 2-minute film based on the legacy of the Limerick City of Culture from 2014. So ultimately, I suppose what they were set was, they were set a project where they had to take an aspect of culture in Limerick and put their depiction of that aspect of culture on screen in a short 2-minute piece. So that's what they're showcasing today. So.
Each day has a highlight for me. Tonight would be the Mad Max with Brendan McCarthy, and we have exclusive footage, 6 minutes of footage being shown that hasn't been shown anywhere else in the world. So we have exclusive, I suppose, premiere of that tonight.
I mean, it's something we've been really excited about for ages in our office, literally in our local office in Dublin. We've been very excited about it coming up because we've known about the production for about 2 years. And it's finally here. It's a huge undertaking. It's going, into the world that people loved for many years, that George Miller created in the first place. I mean, he's the person who's really kind of brought the idea of post-apocalyptic cinema to life, and there's a whole genre now.
For many people of my generation, Star Wars was the ultimate trilogy, but in my case, the Mad Max trilogy was the one that set me on fire. And I did seek out George Miller many times, and gradually to work with somebody whose work has been so wonderful to watch and stuff, it was a great pleasure.
But the awards night is when we get to just really put off what is our jewel in the crown for this festival, which is our awards show. And if anybody hasn't been at it, we put a lot of work into it. It has the feel of an Oscars. We try to make much of all the winners, and we also try to make sure that anybody who has participated in it or been nominated, that we acknowledge all those films.
My film is about a couple that have an argument and they are thinking of breaking up, but after they look back at all their great memories, they realise there's no point breaking up over one stupid argument.
And at the end of it, then we go back to the George Boutique Hotel, who's a sponsor, and we have a few jars, and I tend to sleep for about 48 hours after.